Namaste, dear listeners. Welcome to the iWatch channel, Astro In with Abhi. Oneness in astrology and spirituality, bringing in awareness by Abhi. Today, we're going to talk about devotion. What is devotion, and how can devotion benefit you? Yeah. So, I'm just going to give a very brief example of something that pretty much everybody has had an experience of in his or her life, and then we can transfer it to spiritual devotion. You see, there's no difference between you devoted to somebody versus your devotion to a higher power. There's only a consequence of the both, but there is no difference in terms of the energy you give off. For example, let's just say you are in a relationship or you have been in a relationship, and let's just say your partner is consistently or constantly and consistently showering you with only fancy words and gifts. Whilst in the beginning this may seem quite interesting, but there's nothing more to it. There's no connection, there's no conversation, and whenever you try to talk about something that's affecting you, the person can never hear, understand, or listen to you. There's no connection, there's no intimate connection, there's nothing there. Have you had that feeling? Now, imagine something totally different to that, where you're in a relationship. Some of you may have never experienced this in your life, so this might be a lousy example, but you get the drift. Devotion means to connect to somebody or something or your higher power. For example, you're in love with somebody and you just feel very connected to them. They listen to you, they hear you, they offer you emotional support, physical support, and you offer this in return. You both just cling together and everything just works. When the other person is sad, it makes you feel sad. Making the other person happy brings an instantaneous happiness towards you. This is devotion, the consequence of devotion. It's not a physical thing, it is a state of consciousness, it is a state of being. Devotion comes from thought, thought, consistent talk, and consistent action towards that of you and that which you are devoting yourself to. Now, devotion in religion and spirituality, obviously, devotion and spirituality is a bit different because devotion is the way, one of the paths to understanding your true self or your higher self. Devotion is one of the ways. So, I choose devotion. It's also called Bhakti Yoga. And devotion is building that relationship with your higher power, acknowledging your higher power's presence at every given moment. And over a considerable period of time, your pineal gland will start to get stimulated, and then you can start to see what you cannot see. It's an experience. Once you devote yourself to your higher power in thought, word, and action daily, you start to see your higher power in everything. And here, once your pineal gland is stimulated, you are rising from the low frequency to the higher dimensions. And the ecstasy, yeah, the feeling of this place, there's nothing that can compare to it. Therefore, you will always want to rise in frequency. Therefore, you'll see a lot of people, bhakti yogis, they're always devoting themselves in Krishna consciousness. They're singing Hare Krishna. Look at the Hare Krishna movement. You'll see a lot of Ram devotees the same. There's different devotees, people devoted towards different states of consciousness. But fundamentally, they are devoted beings. When you're a devoted beings, you taste that dimension from your devotion. You rise in frequency and you taste that dimension of existence. And once you taste that, you don't want to ever drop in vibration because once you go away from the heater, you don't get the qualities of the heater, which is the heat. So you need to consistently be close to the heater. So this is what devotion means also. As a bhakti yogi, you gotta consistently be in devotion to consistently receive the qualities of whom you are devoting yourself to. All right. So I hope this explains the benefits of devotion. Depending on where you devote yourself to, you will become exactly that in qualities. All right. So I'm going to do another podcast of different types of different ways of devoting yourself. There's so many ways. There's chanting, japa chanting. There's also meditation. You know, this is what I do. Meditation. Japa chanting is something that I don't always do, but more in deep meditation. I go into it. I don't literally sit with beads, no, but it's in my head. It's happening all the time. When you're doing this for a long time, there's no set time that you start and finish. It's just a consistent thing all the time. So I can't really say that I'm sitting and chanting, doing japa chanting. That's how I started. But nevertheless, we all start somewhere. And I can tell you right now that devoting yourself to your higher power, once you devote yourself to your higher power, everything else sorts itself out. So thank you very much, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Ram, Om Namah Shivaya, Hari Bol.